everyone, ready to dive into another interesting topic. Let's talk cars. You know, that whole new versus used dilemma.
Yeah, classic debate.
It really is, and we're tackling it today with a really interesting YouTube video I found.
Okay.
It is in Spanish, so get ready for subtitles. But this guy makes a super compelling argument for why buying used might actually be like the ultimate financial power move.
Interesting. I'm intrigued. What's the main argument?
So it all boils down to depreciation.
Okay.
You know that thing where stuff just loses value over time?
Right, like phones, computers, even houses to some extent.
Exactly. But with cars, it feels like that depreciation hits you hard and fast right out of the gate.
Absolutely. It's one of the worst things you can buy new if you're thinking purely from a financial standpoint.
And this video actually throws out a crazy stat. It says new cars can lose a whopping 18% of their value the minute they're driven off the lot.
Yeah, that's about right, unfortunately.
18%? Seriously?
Yeah, it's wild, right? You're literally watching your money evaporate as you cruise down the road.
That's insane. So let's say you buy a car for like $30,000. You're telling me that's like $5,000, poof, gone just like that.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It's because that new car premium vanishes the second it's in your possession.
Ouch. No wonder this video is all about Team Used Car.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense financially. You're usually paying a lower price up front and often have more wiggle room to negotiate.
Totally. And don't forget about things like insurance and taxes. They can often be lower for used cars, too.
Absolutely. Those ongoing costs definitely add up over time.
It's like this ripple effect of savings.
I like that.
Okay, but I have to play devil's advocate for a second here. There's something about that new car allure, you know?
Oh, I totally get it.
That new car smell, the pristine interior. You're the first and only person to ever grace those leather seats.
It's an experience for sure.
It's an experience, but how do you balance that with the financial side of things?
That's the million-dollar question, right? You've got to weigh those fleeting feelings against the potential long-term financial impact because we're not talking about a small difference here.
It's a tough one, and this video really got me thinking about it differently. It's not even just about, can I swing this car payment? It's more like, what else could that money be doing for me, you know, over the life of the car?
That's exactly it. It's all about opportunity costs, right?
Yeah.
That like $5,000 you save up front by going used.
Yeah.
If you invest that wisely, it could be making you even more money down the line.
It's true. I never thought about it that way. Like that money, it's got a job to do too. And a new car payment, it's practically telling it to work against you.
I like that analogy.
Mm.
A lot of people don't think of it that way. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of a new purchase, but that money could be growing in an investment account instead.
Yeah.
You know, helping you hit those financial goals even faster.
Okay, you've officially made me want to at least give used cars a serious look. But I gotta be honest, the used car market, it can feel a little bit, well, intimidating.
Sure, I understand.
How do you even know if you're getting a good deal or if you're inheriting someone else's problem?
That's such a good point. And it's where doing your research is key.
Yeah.
This is another spot where that YouTube video had some really solid advice.
Oh, good. Let's hear it.
They recommend focusing on cars in that 4 to 8-year-old range.
So not brand spanking new,
Right.
but not ready for the retirement home either.
Exactly. They've already gone through that steepest depreciation curve.
Okay.
But they should still have a lot of good miles left, especially if they've been well maintained.
Okay, so how do you check for that whole well-maintained part? I can just picture myself staring at some like complicated car report, feeling totally clueless.
I hear ya. It doesn't have to be that scary, though. The video actually suggested getting a vehicle history report from like Carfax or a similar reputable source.
Oh, okay, so it's like a background check for the car. I can handle that.
Exactly. Transparency is key. It's
Ah.
all about knowing what you're getting yourself into.
Makes sense. What else does the video say about navigating the used car world?
One thing they really emphasized was going with a reputable dealership. You know, do your research, read online reviews, ask friends for recommendations, that kind of thing.
Word of mouth can be super helpful.
Absolutely. It's worth it for the peace of mind.
Yeah, no one wants to end up with a lemon, right? Like those horror stories of buying a used car and then it falls apart a week later.
Exactly. You're not just buying a car. You're investing in your transportation and your peace of mind. It's a big decision.
So we talked about those potential savings with used cars, but I think the video actually went a step further and did like a full-on cost comparison, right? Can you remind me what they looked at?
Yeah, they like really went there. They crunched the numbers on buying new versus used over a 4-year period.
Yep, and it wasn't even close.
Yeah, they factored in everything. The initial purchase price, of course, But then also things like insurance costs, estimated maintenance, and even how much each car would depreciate over those 4 years.
Okay, so like the whole 9 yards.
Exactly. It was a really comprehensive comparison.
And what was the verdict? Was it really that much better to buy used?
Yeah. It turns out that even if you get like a killer deal on a new car after those 4 years, you could easily be tens of thousands of dollars behind someone who went with a similar but used model.
Tens of thousands. That's wild. I'm starting to see why people get so passionate about this whole used car thing.
It's not just about the cars themselves. It's about making your money work smarter.
Hmm.
Think about what you could do with that extra cash flow.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Invest it. Pay down debt faster.
Mhm.
Maybe finally take that dream vacation you've been putting off.
Okay, you sold me. Buying used makes total sense from a financial standpoint. But I gotta be honest, sometimes it's just really hard to ignore that emotional pull of a brand new car. You know? Any advice on how to balance the head and the heart in those moments?
Totally. Visualization can be super helpful in those situations.
Okay, how so?
So instead of focusing on that initial, like, new car high, try picturing yourself 5 years down the road.
Okay.
Imagine feeling financially secure and stress-free, all because you made a savvy car buying decision.
I like where you're going with this. It's almost like you're choosing long-term financial peace over a short-term thrill.
Exactly.
Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive into this whole new versus used car debate, what's the key takeaway you want listeners to walk away with?
I think it boils down to this. Before you make any big purchase, whether it's a car, a house, heck, even a fancy new appliance, take a moment to really consider the opportunity cost.
That's such a good point.
Ask yourself, what else could I do with this money?
Mm.
That simple question can really shift your perspective.
It's so true. It's not always about what you can afford in this moment. It's about making choices that set you up for success down the line.
Exactly.
Awesome. Well, on that note, I think we're ready to wrap this deep dive. Thanks for joining us, everyone. And remember, go forth and make those financially savvy decisions. Your future self will thank you.